I feel this is such a waste of time.
Aliens is just another word for the unknown for us.
What? They will f you up if you touch their babies.
Welcome to episode 7 of MasterDebater. I am your judge and host Sylvia from Night Owl Cinematics.
My name is Hirzi from the Malay community.
My name's Joel, I'm from the association that talks a lot.
Whoa! Talks a lot!
Welcome to MasterDebater, the show where we fight about not so important topics in battles of debates. Every episode, 3 people from each team will present their stance going up 1v1 against their opponents in a speech round, followed by a quick-fire rebuttal round. Judges will decide which team won, and the losers will have to vote out one of their own. But the judges also have a revival card for the season, which they can use to bring one speaker back. Points will be given to the winners, as well as the best speakers of the episode, voted by you. The 6 players with the most points will go to the final episode, where we will crown the Master Debater. Who will survive? Who will break down? Who will be the true Master Debater?
Okay, we're at episode 7, right? And if you are watching and you have been following, you will know that both teams are tied in score right now. 3 to red and 3 to blue. And this will be the episode where we finally realize, okay, which is the better team. Judges, okay, who do you think will emerge as the better team today?
Gotta go with red. They've been pretty consistent and they are all strong speakers individually.
You.
I observe and I see the trajectory from both sides, and I think red has sort of solidified their synergy, especially on the last episode. So I want to see how the blue team's new jumble lineup has worked out for them. So red for me.
Okay. I'm quite excited to see this lineup because the fun fact is we haven't seen Lev ever since he left. Right? Way early. So this is a wild horse and a wild card sitting right here. But without further ado, today's statement is, if we find an alien egg, we should hatch it. Blue team is for, red team is against, and we will see how this builds up. Go guys!
Round 1.
Lingyi, you think you wear the jacket? You look
Because we're scared, ma. Aliens, species from outer space, species we have no knowledge about. We should not hatch the egg because the risk behind it is unimaginable and very possibly devastating. Hawking said that we should stop trying to reach out to aliens at all because reaching out to advanced civilizations could put humanity and Earth at a pretty risky situation. Why is the egg there in the first place? Why did aliens travel all the way from outer space, Mission Impossible, just to place an egg? Not a love letter, not a device, not a message, it's an egg. Because they want us to hatch it. Cuckoo bird plays an egg in other people's nests so their kid can grow up exhausting every single resources in other nests. In this case, the egg is the cuckoo bird. And the bird and the earth is the nest. And that is the best scenario, advanced civilization. What if what's inside of this egg is not something advanced? It means it will not communicate. You will what? You will whack. If there's an egg, there's a what? There's a mother. Mother will do what? They will f you up if you touch their babies, especially if you didn't know how to hatch it and accidentally kill the baby. Thank you.
Yeah, left. Yeah, left.
Redemption arc, let's go!
Guess who's back?
We just found an egg. The question is not whether the egg is good or bad. That's an unknown factor at the moment. The question is whether we should hatch it. And we, the scientists from the Geneva National Science Committee, believe that we should. Most of human development is done through science. Science thrives on curiosity and answering those questions so we develop and grow in knowledge. If it wasn't for curiosity, humans would never have developed modern technologies. There wouldn't be things like satellites and 5G internet. In fact, there wouldn't be civilization. We'd still be thinking that Earth is flat and remain to be undeveloped apes if it wasn't for the will to learn. Of course, it's essential to maintain precautious measures to avoid disasters. We would use various technologies like X-ray machines and study the species, draw analogies of it to Earth creatures. If the alien baby happens to be an existing civilization, we could perhaps learn a new language from it and establish connection with aliens and become an intergalactic nation that would lead to progress.
Yes! Sounds good!
Everything you said just now is great, but you didn't talk about the risk.
I did talk about the risk. I said it can be manageable with technology, and it's always managed with technology. And besides, there could have been plenty of reasons why the egg ended up on our planet. It could have been flown in from outer space. What if that happened?
It doesn't matter how the egg get there. It doesn't change the fact that there's a huge risk.
There is a risk, but you can manage it with technology like I just said. And you also mentioned Hawkins, right? Said don't reach out, but they're the ones that reached out to us. If a baby is placed next to your doorstep, would you not want to take care of it? Would you just leave it out there?
You can explore and study without hatching the egg. What? You can study the egg.
Yes, we will study the egg with x-rays and stuff like that before we hatch it.
Okay, so if you study the egg and find out it's gonna kill you, do you hatch it?
Ooh.
You can't answer the question. Do you hatch it? If it's gonna kill you, if you study the egg, it's gonna kill you, do you hatch it? Yes. He said yes. So they will hatch it. Thank you.
I didn't say anything.
Yeah, you wanna kill a baby?
Round 2.
Alright, Curly, it's now your turn.
Okay, I know Lingyi talked about a potential risk, but I want all of you guys to think from the alien's perspective. Can we all agree that an alien life is still alive, despite it being not from this world? And yes, it could be a non-breathing creature in the egg that requires no care, but it could also be a young life form that needs to be carefully nurtured. How well do we know about space and alien life forms to confidently say that we have the proper tools, the proper knowledge, or even the proper environment for this young life form to thrive? What we are doing is risking killing this unknown life form by hatching it and potentially bringing this creature a lot of pain and suffering. What if just being exposed to our atmosphere brings it immense pain? Have you guys thought of it? What if the roles are reversed right now? If a human fetus, or hell, your baby, is accidentally somewhere on another planet, do you want the aliens to do experiments on it? Or do you want them to put a baby in situations that the baby would suffer? Of course, we wouldn't want that. And I know exploring alien life has been going on for decades, but is our curiosity really worth sacrificing another life form? Just putting it out there.
Go, Chrysan!
Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. Yes, our curiosity is definitely worth it. Let me tell you why. Aliens is just another word for the unknown for us. Durian was also unknown to us back then. It looks intimidating, it stings, but guess what? A lot of people actually like it after they tried it. And all of human life, we have been trying to bring back extinct species and find alien life. And guess what? If we hatch it, we might even have an alien movie star. If you do nothing, sit back and do nothing, it's like looking in a math question and not solving the equation. And guess what? In an exam, you get a 0 immediately. And this is not the way humans should live. Humans are meant to try, humans are meant to thrive, and humans are meant to dare to dream. And this is the direction that we are going towards. Next, we have to show nurture over nature. Show it compassion, and the returns will be unimaginable. Also, I just want to mention about the mother. Yes, guess what? Maybe the mother might even thank you, and maybe the mother doesn't even want the egg, and maybe it doesn't even have a mother.
Nice! Nice! You have
And if you're basing everything based on fear, a single emotion, imagine all of our scientific discoveries not being discovered because of fear. I'm telling you, this is unacceptable.
It's acceptable, Chrysan. That's good.
Chrysan, I like how you're very positive. Your whole team is focusing on the positive outcomes of hatching this egg. Of course, if it's a positive outcome, why don't we hatch it? But my question to you now is that, can you guarantee that there won't be any negative outcomes from hatching the egg? That's why we are studying the egg before we are hatching it. And if you're operating your entire basis based on fear, it is irrelevant. Imagine not discovering so many things just because of fear. Studying something, you need to gather enough information. This egg is from outer space. How equipped are we to study this egg from another civilization from outer space? We can't. There are a lot of discoveries not being made because we didn't have enough information back then. But if we didn't study, we will not move forward. We need to study it to move forward. Discovering and studying a life form is different. Whatever you're talking about are all Earth-based stuff. We cannot even go to another planet that's further from us. So what are you talking about? What do you mean? Meteorites are not being studied. They are not from Earth. I can continue? Yes, so what I'm trying to say is their entire team basis is based on what ifs and fear, and I'm telling you, as scientists, we have took this into consideration and we should hatch the egg.
Oh, nice, nice, nice.
Round 3.
Go, fish.
I'm going to start that the proposition has already assisted us. The question is to hatch the egg or not to hatch the egg. Not study the egg first, and if it's bad, we don't hatch. That's not the question. So if it's bad, you're still going to hatch the egg, which is horrible. In 2020, we've seen riots of massive scale globally. Riots damage social structures, the economy, and add fuel to fire in politics as well. Let me first give you an example. Behind that door, there's a random animal. You don't know what it is, and there's 5 babies in front of the door. Do you open the door? It could be rabbits. What if it's a hungry tiger? It eats the damn babies. No one will take that risk. Even if it's 0.00001% chance, you never take that risk. People will riot if we take this risk or say we're going to take this risk. Question the intention behind what we do. Is it greed from the government? Are you using this for war? What's going on behind this? And on top of that, you've got all the moral fallacies behind this as well. Is this the morally correct thing to do? We might kill this. What if it's not a carbon-based life form, doesn't breathe oxygen, comes into this earth and spends 5 seconds of torture before it dies? We cannot answer these questions. Lev keeps saying we have technology to help us. No, we know nothing about this. It's an alien life form. We have absolutely no way to guarantee this. And after all, at the end of the day, he keeps talking about curiosity, but it's curiosity that killed Lev's cat.
Woo!
Wow.
Go, Jason!
Okay, scientists are aware of the danger. Of course, even if we still hatch the egg, we can understand the threat better. If you train how to catch a snake, you would know how to deal with a snake. Even if it's bad, we learn and with that experience, we can build new equipment to defend ourselves better. We can even go space travel, develop new technology to assist us with our current goals. Tom Cruise is currently talking to Elon Musk about making movies in space. If we have the alien on our side, the alien can be the producer to tell us where to shoot and how to shoot in space. And who knows, in the universities, we can have alien studies. And Men in Black, people put into this kind of specific position to take care of immigration from the space. It's only a threat if you don't understand it.
A lot of hostility coming out of here.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Proposition keeps harping on curiosity and uncertainty and saying that even if there's a risk, they're going to mitigate it. But this is all unknown. They're not able to address the unknown. And on top of that, Jason, what if this is sent by a foreign government? And we don't know because it's foreign. It's alien to us. We don't know. It could be a weapon of mass destruction ready to hatch and kill your entire country. And it's disguised as a secret gift, a tool, something for you to experiment on.
If you don't hatch the egg, you will kill it.
Not necessarily. Eggs are meant to sustain life forms and do that indefinitely at a good enough result. We know this because there's eggs in the earth.
All you are talking about is all about risk. We are all talking about understanding the thing and take away all the risk from you because you understand it better.
That's perfectly fine because we talk about risk because you don't address it. It's so risky, Jason. We have no understanding of what's going to happen and you just want everyone to die.
You know Superman? He's an alien. Oh, yeah, he's an alien. And we nurture him, we groom him, he becomes our superhero that helps all of us here in the entertainment industry. Thank you very much.
He helped us so much. The entertainment industry.
Okay, the entire team is having their basis on the fact that and the assumptions that this thing is bad. But no, let's talk about like if there's a baby outside your house, are you gonna just leave it alone? No. If you leave it alone, you are a murderer. If you don't hatch it versus whether you hatch it or not, you could still be a murderer. If you want to talk about morals, this is what we're gonna talk about. At the same time, we do take fears and consequences to consideration, but we are going to create thousands and thousands of jobs for people to study this thing. We're not saying hatch it immediately. We say we will and we should hatch it. It could be 5, 10, 100 years from now, but we create these jobs for people to study it and then eventually hatch it. And the possibilities of hatching this is endless. And like what Jason said, perhaps we might even have Superman.
Yes!
We know babies, we don't know aliens. That's the biggest difference. We can handle risks, but we can't handle unknown risks. And even if the risk is 1% this time, we can't afford it. Curiosity is important. Being adventurous is fun. But when the 20% of explorers are having fun, the 80% of us are paying the price for it. And this time, we can't afford the price. We can study this egg in a million ways without hatching it. Why don't we do that? And it's inhuman if we hatch it if it's not ready to be hatched. Do we know what aliens want? What they eat? Who they mate with? A giraffe? If we found an alien egg, we should not hatch it. In fact, we should shoot it as far as possible. Don't play a game if you can't handle the consequences of losing.
She was talking about you guys.
No, I think she was talking about their own team. We can afford to lose.
Okay, we will deliberate Because, oh no, I think it's tough. Is it tough for you guys?
I think it's quite straightforward.
Really? You?
I think it was a lackluster performance. Honestly, it was just not the kind of episode that was as exciting as the previous ones before. I feel this is such a waste of time. I was just bored. It was not fun at all. Y'all didn't even learn from each other how to rebut. Frankly, I'm like wondering, why are some of you here? Why are some of you revived even?
This is difficult for me to judge. Not because they had real great points. It was difficult to judge because they don't have great points. And I'm trying to see which one is less bad.
Like, you guys don't understand. Y'all were not listening to each other. You guys were just wanting to drive your own facts home. If you guys had listened to each other, instead of being optimistic, blue team, what I would have done was fight fear with fear. They are so afraid of this egg right now. Fight that fear by saying, look, if we don't hatch this egg, we don't know where the mother is going to come. We need the knowledge of that egg. We need this fear to drive that fear off. But you guys weren't listening to each other. You guys were going with the optimistic. And it was just exhausting to observe that. And on this side, I felt that was the weakest closing you've ever had, Fish. Your two teams brought home very solid endings. Lingyi said, if you study the egg and it was detrimental, do you still hatch it? A question they can never answer. Bam, red team gets the point. Kelly goes and say, alien rights are also sort of human rights. You know, do we have the proper tools and knowledge to have it to close? Bam, that's great. And you come in with just human unrest as a closing point. They had a more solid opening than you did. So because of that, now I'm confused. Where a clear team could have lost, you cost your team a closing.
It's not a closing, he means the
third speaker.
Third
basically.
speaker.
Now, to Paula undo this situation, however, I appreciate Blue's attempt to talk about the nature of scientific inquiry and how we need, as humanity, to take the bold step. I'm just not very sure whether or not by the end of this debate, whether the judges have decided whether this is a bold step for people to take as humanity to hatch an egg from outer space. I don't know. It's still up to the judges. I'm undecided too.
I'm just disappointed that this was your final performance when I have been more excited before. I don't like to be disappointed by performances. I always perform.
Maybe you should give one then.
Start performing now.
But you used Superman instead and that made me laugh, so good job. Thank you. Judges, I guess it's time to vote lah, huh?
I have no idea what he's voting for. He seems to have a very clear idea. You know what? I'm actually going to throw a coin for mine. Well, this is up to luck already.
Yeah, sounds good, sounds fair.
Wow, I can't believe I'm doing this. You guys point and I'll throw this. In 3, 2, 1.
It doesn't matter, babe.
Well done! It's okay, you did well. You did well. You did.
Okay, not so bad. Hey, unanimous vote lah.
Unanimous vote from a coin.
Still a round of applause to the red team for being the better debate team. Look happy lah, look happy. Yeah. We're gonna find out of all these people who have debated on the show, who is the one and only one master debater. So who's gonna appear will depend on your votes. So go cast your MVP votes right now and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye!
Next time on MasterDebater, the team format is no more. Our top 6 will return to battle it out in 1v1 battles. They will get judged by the very same losers that they voted out. Will they hold grudges or will they be fair and just? Who will survive? Who will be the true MasterDebater?